Good afternoon. I'm Rose from Growing Rose's Open Pantry, and today we're going to be making deviled eggs. I realized the other day I've got over 100 videos on YouTube, and I have never made deviled eggs, and they go so well with your Thanksgiving lunch for any day of the week, just anytime you want to eat them. So I'm going to show you how I boil my eggs to where the peeling doesn't stick. The peeling will just slide off. I've got 6 eggs right here, and they're room temperature. I set them out this morning, and my water is boiling. So I just gently put my eggs down in my boiling water like that. And I'm going to boil them for 10 minutes. Then I'm going to turn them off. I'm going to pour that hot water off, and I'm going to cover them with cold water, and I'll probably put a few ice cubes in there. I'm going to put my lid back on it, set my timer for 10 minutes, and I'm going to put a few ice cubes in there and let them cool down, and I will peel them in that cool water. We used to have chickens, and we had fresh eggs all the time. And then, as y'all know, my son-in-law gave me fresh eggs a lot. So I could never, ever figure out how you could peel a fresh egg without it tearing up and the peeling just slide off. Well, this is the way I finally learned that you could do it. You let your water come to a boil. Then you gently put your eggs down in your water, cover them, let them boil 10 minutes. And then if you immediately pour that water off and cover them with cold water and put a few ice cubes in there and let it sit till the eggs get kind of room temperature, then that shell is just going to slide right off. I hope. So
most of the time it does.
Most of the time, but sometimes you can get a stubborn egg. But that shocking them from that hot water into that cold water, it makes that membrane turn loose. There's a little membrane between the shell and the egg, and when that turns loose, then your shell will just peel right off. And so that's what I'm hoping. But you know, when you're on camera or you're trying to show something, it doesn't always work, but I think it will today. But I'm going to show you how you can have some really delicious, pretty deviled eggs for Thanksgiving or for any time that you can use them as an hors d'oeuvre. They work beautifully as an hors d'oeuvre. So just give me 10 minutes. Well, a little bit longer than that, because I'm going to let them cool in the water for about 10 minutes. So in about 20 minutes, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with our eggs.
Okay.
Our eggs are cooled, and I've got the cold water in here, and I've already got one peeled, and as you can see, that peeling just slides right off. So let's try another one.
And you poured the hot water out. You poured some cold water in, and put a few pieces of ice in it to chill it down to normal.
I did. Now, I like to do this gently, very gently. I don't crush it. I just gently roll it around in my hand, and I find that it makes that shell just slide right off when I do it that way. And then I dip it down in my cool water and rinse it off. And I like to gently roll it around in my hands. And here's that membrane I was telling y'all about. If you can see it. See that membrane right there? Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. If that turns loose, then you are going to have
You're home free.
You're home free. You're going to have a beautifully peeled egg. But if that membrane does not turn loose, you're in trouble.
That's where you come. That's where extra boiled eggs come in, right?
That's where extra comes in. Yeah, when I did my fresh eggs, I'd always do 2 or 3 extra ones just in case. the membrane didn't turn loose. But you can see it. There it is again.
Yeah.
Can you see it on that camera, honey?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And long as that happens, then you are home free with
I have seen her so frustrated making eggs when they would stick, and she just kept looking for ways, trying to figure out how to do it, and now she does it easily.
I did everything from putting salt in the water to somebody told me punch a little hole in the end of the egg. I did that. Somebody said start them in cold water and then let them come up to temp. I did that. I bet you I tried 10 or 15, well, as many as I could find ways to peel the fresh egg. And this is the way that I found that I could peel even fresh eggs straight out of the yard, straight out among the hen, and them come out good. So, all right.
Well, this is really nice.
Now, I'm going to set this to the side. And I want y'all to look at my beautiful plate. Mm-hmm. I found this at a consignment shop. My grandmother used to have some like this. And when she passed away, they got passed to other members of the family. My mama didn't get one. So when I found, this is a bouquet of flowers that's embossed. Well, it's not embossed. I don't know what you call it, but absolutely beautiful. So when I found that at the consignment shop, I thought, oh my goodness, I have found something that I really like. So I just cut my eggs in half. And if you see, you boil these eggs 10 minutes and then pour that hot water out, put them in cold water. That you don't have, you know how sometimes your eggs will turn green and they'll have a greenish like a circle around them? They will not. I'm telling you.
Those are just beautifully gold.
Yes. If you do them this way, you are going to have really, really pretty.
Girl, I'm amazed at you.
Eggs. Why?
Well, I hadn't seen you do this, but neither have I in months heard you complaining about boiled eggs.
Right.
Because she cooks a lot of boiled eggs, and I hadn't heard the frustration with the. So I hadn't really seen her do this.
You are right. That's because I learned how to do it. And I've got a deviled egg dish. I've got a big one that my daughter gave me, but it holds like a dozen or a dozen and a half. And then, but I've got one that holds 12 halves, and I cannot find it anywhere. I hope I do, because it was my mama's, and I've just misplaced it. I've probably put it up somewhere, but okay. Just cut your eggs in half. Take the yolk out. What I usually do, I put them in a deviled egg dish. I'm just fixing these for us and just to show y'all. But I put them in a deviled egg dish, and then I put some type of salad, whether it's potato salad, pasta salad, because if your deviled egg dish has little cutouts in it for your egg halves, and then in the center is open. It's a round space like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually put pickles or veggies, some kind of fresh veggies, a potato salad, pasta salad, something real pretty inside.
Cinnamon pickles are beautiful.
Cinnamon pickles, and I've got to do a video on cinnamon pickles for y'all. But what I do, I just take and just mash. I take a fork and just mash my yolks up like this. And y'all see my little salt and pepper shakers? I've had these probably 10 years. I use these every year at Thanksgiving.
Those turkeys get out once a year. That's Thanksgiving.
That's right. So I'm putting pepper and salt. Oh, the salt comes out better than pepper does. So, all right, now to this. Now this is just going to kind of be a basic deviled egg, but I'm going to add something to it when we get through. So, and don't put too much mayo to begin with. That's probably like a good, maybe 2 tablespoons, because you don't want them to have a lot. Be soupy. You want them to be just the right consistency. Okay, So that's mayo. But now egg yolks are really dry, so they absorb this mayo really well. You have to put enough in there to keep it from choking you to death when you eat it. Because if you've ever eaten an egg yolk, just pop one in your mouth. They can't choke you to death. So, all right. Okay. I'm going to wait until after I do my pickles to see if I need more mayo. And these are some my sugar-free that I made with stevia this summer. And I just roughly chopped them. I didn't put them in my electric food grinder chopper. I just took a little hand chopper I've got and I chopped them up because I wanted them kind of rough chopped.
And if you really want pickles that add to your dishes and separate you from store-bought cooking, uh, go to Grandmama's video on homemade pickles. I think it's called homemade sweet pickles, but
Yeah,
you make them either way, and she shows you how to do
right.
it either way on the same
Okay.
video.
And that's just maybe a tablespoon of mustard, maybe 2 teaspoons, not much at all. And we like that because it gives it a little extra bite. We like mustard in our deviled eggs. Okay, so you didn't need any more mayo because by the time you get your mustard in there and your pickles,
Pickle
then it's
juice.
gonna loosen it. No, not pickle juice, just
Okay.
pickles. It's gonna loosen it up some.
Okay.
And I'm putting more pepper because we like pepper. All right, now because these are rough chopped pickles. Now, if it was pickle relish that I do in my processor, I was going to show y'all how I put them in a little tube with a cake decorator thing on the end, and I was going to really make them pretty. But because I rough chop these pickles, the pickle will not go through my little decorator end. So I'm just going to use a spoon. Matter of fact, I'm going to use this one right here. I'm just going to use a spoon to spoon them in there today. I may do them again for y'all and do the relish and show y'all how pretty you can really make them. So I
Well, if
need
they don't
to.
know how to get them out of the shell like you just showed, they've already been highly paid for watching your video today, even if they don't see pretty ones
Wrong paprika.
or highly
Okay.
decorated ones.
Okay. I wanted to get my paprika out too. All right. Now I'm going to set all this to the side because I don't need that anymore.
I'm even suspecting you to have boiled 3 or 4 dozen eggs to get those pretty ones out like that.
No, I did not. I promise you, this was the sixth that went in the pan. I promise you. So, oh my goodness, I was about to make. I do that all the time. If y'all know, some of these you take the lid off and there's a little sifter thing inside, but then some of them you just lift that. And sometimes I forget which ones is which, and I have made a mess. I do want to put a little bit of garlic in these, just a little bit. Not much. Garlic powder, of course, y'all know. I always use garlic powder. Okay, now I'm going to fill my eggs. All right. And I start off by, when I first start filling them, I put just about that much in because I want to make sure I have enough to go around. And I can always come back and put more in if I need to. This is just a simple way to do it. You can dress them up any way you want to. And like I say, next time I do it for y'all, I'm going to get my big red one out and I'm going to really make it pretty and show y'all how I add different things to it to make it a really, really nice, pretty dish. So this was just kind of a spur of the moment thing this afternoon. So, all right. See, you can go back and you can add to some of those that didn't have as much in them. Okay. I need a little bit more right here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of paprika over these. Just a little bit, I hope. Not much. I just want a little bit. I'm scared. Okay. I didn't want to do too much. Okay, now. And if you want a little red pepper in yours, then you can put a little cayenne pepper, ground cayenne pepper in them. It's just according to how you want them. Now, I would have, if I had had lettuce, I would have put lettuce underneath here and set my eggs. Since I don't have my little egg dish, set my eggs down on the lettuce, but I didn't have that today. So what I'm going to do, these are just little red peppers, sweet peppers. I'm just going to add a couple, like this, just so it'll be pretty to my eggs.
Well, they're also tasty and healthy.
Oh, they're delicious. Yeah, very good.
But it does give it a lot of color.
Yeah. Matter of fact, these came out of our garden. We brought them in when we were going to have a freeze a couple of weeks ago. We brought them in. They were still green, and they turned, we knew they would. They turned red. So I've been using those all week. When we left for Texas, they weren't ready, but then when we came back, they were. So I was happy about that. I've still got a few that I can use when I'm doing my Thanksgiving cooking. So, but red peppers always make things pretty. Now you can do pimento peppers if you want to, but we just like the fresh little sweet peppers. Okay, almost through with this. And then I'm going to kick it up a notch. All right, one more. Okay, now I fried some bacon and I got it really, really crisp. And then I just took my fingers, I cut it in little bitty pieces and just pan fried it over there behind me in my cast iron skillet. Now, I'm just going to take and I'm going to sprinkle some of this bacon over my eggs.
Isn't there a rule against this?
Oh, yeah, there is. Oh, it's a good one.
It's not fair to do this if somebody else is cooking some and they don't have the bacon. That's totally unfair. That's a foul. Oh, my.
Well, some people may like the bacon, some people may not. So it's just, it's up to the individual how you want to do it. And but I'm telling you, this really, really makes them. And I'll tell you something else that'll kick them up even more is if you candy this bacon. I just didn't want to do all that today, but just put a little brown sugar on it and put it in the oven and candy your bacon. And y'all have seen me do that. Promise and I did that when we did maple bacon, candied bacon ice cream. We did that. So
and it can be sweetener, not just sugar.
Right. Yeah. You don't have to use sugar. Okay.
Oh my.
Y'all, this is my deviled eggs right here.
That's edible, Rose.
And I'm telling you, they are so good. They are
beautiful.
Delicious. Aren't they pretty?
Those are pretty, honey.
Yeah, they really are. I'm not going to taste a one because I know how delicious they are and I want to take a picture before before we eat them. But thank y'all for joining me this afternoon in my just little short video on deviled eggs. So I hope y'all put these on your table during the holidays. And subscribe to my channel, hit that little notification bell. And these are very healthy. Put the deliciousness back in healthy food. And remember, food feeds the family, family feeds the heart, God feeds the soul. I'll see y'all next time.